I think it's very important when you have the best players in the world together, you got to compete and you got to play hard and you got to show the fans how good they really are. I watch them all the time. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa. Caitlin Clark play about the same last year, so I watched a lot of basketball.
Hey there, welcome back to the Clark Update. I really hope your day is going fantastic. I've got something incredibly compelling lined up for you today, and if you're genuinely invested in Caitlin Clark's journey, you absolutely need to stick around through the entire thing. Real quick, drop a comment saying CC 100% to show me you're riding with the Clark Update crew. Seriously love connecting with fellow Clark enthusiasts down there. Alright, enough intro, let's dive headfirst into what I've got for you. So here's how the whole thing actually kicked off. No press release, no leaked internal document. Just a completely off-the-grid meeting room tucked away somewhere nobody would think to look. Not even maintenance staff. Right there in the heart of Indiana at the Pacers training complex, three absolute juggernauts of basketball, Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and the legendary Larry Bird himself, came together for what people behind the scenes are calling the most jaw-dropping summit women's basketball has ever witnessed. Zero cameras rolling, zero media presence, just quiet conversations happening in total secrecy. But those quiet conversations are starting to shake the entire foundation of the sport. Word is spreading like wildfire. League executives are scrambling nervously. Fans everywhere are desperately trying to piece together what's happening. What could possibly bring together an all-time basketball icon, a battle-tested league veteran, and a sensational WNBA newcomer into the same locked room? The answer isn't just surprising. It's potentially game-changing on a historic scale. If you're digging what we're putting out here, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Wild fact, over 90% of people watching still haven't subscribed yet. It literally costs nothing and takes 2 seconds, but honestly makes a massive difference to us. Already subscribed? Amazing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Alright, let's get back into it. Clark just wrapped the most impactful rookie campaign the league has ever documented, so she's no stranger to the spotlight. But this situation isn't about clutch shots or viral plays. This is about seismic shifts in power dynamics, about crafting legacies that outlast careers, about fundamentally reshaping impact. Sophie Cunningham, the Phoenix firecracker, has never been one to follow anyone else's playbook. She's built a reputation on fearless play and even bolder commentary. When she shows up to something, it matters deeply. And Larry Bird, the mythical figure from French Lick, isn't just some retired analyst. He embodies basketball itself. He's been largely invisible to the public eye for years now. Quiet, distant, seemingly done with the scene, until this very moment. That's when the entire basketball universe hit pause. This wasn't some casual get-together when these three ended up in the same space. This was a declaration. Something monumental is being orchestrated, and this powerful trio sits at the absolute center of it. So what force could pull these three into one room? What scenario is significant enough to coax Larry Bird out of his extended silence, draw Cunningham away from her usual battlegrounds, and position Clark not just as an elite athlete, but as the face of an entire movement? Sources close to the situation are calling it the dawn of basketball's next evolutionary chapter. Speculation ranges from complete league overhauls to expansive mentorship infrastructures. Some whispers even suggest cross-league collaborations that would permanently erase traditional boundaries separating the NBA and WNBA. But this clearly transcends basketball mechanics. This is about redefining the entire landscape, cementing multi-generational legacies, bridging eras, and catapulting women's basketball into stratospheric territory. Here's the wildest element of all. We still don't have the complete picture, but judging from the fragments already circulating, we can say with absolute certainty that history is unfolding live. And Caitlin Clark stands directly at the epicenter. Caitlin Clark's emergence has been absolutely explosive. She didn't gradually enter the WNBA. She detonated it. Viewership numbers nobody predicted. Attendance records shattered left and right. Merchandise flying off shelves faster than anyone could restock. Her debut season didn't just succeed. It transformed an entire league into a cultural phenomenon. But let's dig past statistics for a second. This goes way beyond her deep-range shooting and jaw-dropping highlights. This is about complete cultural dominance. When Clark steps onto the court, arenas don't just fill, they erupt. She doesn't just attract casual fans, she builds devoted communities. From her legendary Iowa days straight through to her Indiana tenure, Clark's presence became synonymous with electric excitement. She didn't just elevate Indiana fever, she ushered the entire WNBA into unprecedented relevance. ESPN treated her with the reverence usually reserved for established NBA superstars. Networks completely restructured primetime slots around her matchups. The metrics speak volumes. Games featuring her pulled close to 1 million viewers on major broadcasts. That wasn't just impressive for the WNBA. That was groundbreaking for sports media, period. Her influence radiated far beyond game performance, though. Major brands fought aggressively for partnerships with her. Nike, Gatorade, Beats. She became an absolute marketing juggernaut. Her celebrity didn't just build personal wealth. It fundamentally restructured the WNBA's economic landscape. Behind closed doors, league executives frantically rewrote agreements. Broadcasting networks renegotiated entire deals. Players throughout the league started believing again. Believing their platform could genuinely grow, that their voices could genuinely resonate, that this could genuinely mark the inflection point for women's professional basketball. Clark never walked in demanding structural changes. She simply forced them into existence through sheer presence. Her magnetic appeal brought in audiences who'd never watched a single WNBA possession before. She amplified veteran players' platforms and expanded young girls' visions of what's achievable. So when Caitlin Clark walks into a classified meeting at the Pacers complex, it's not just newsworthy, it's seismic. She's not merely participating in basketball's future. She's actively constructing it and making damn sure everyone knows it. Now let's address the unpredictable element. Sophie Cunningham. Pure toughness, relentless grind, absolute fearlessness. If Caitlin Clark represents the blaze, Sophie is the accelerant. 6 seasons deep with Phoenix Mercury, Cunningham knows leadership and controversy intimately. She's the type who'll dive recklessly into a scramble for a loose ball, then stand up and deliver unfiltered truth in post-game media sessions. When she talks, the basketball world listens carefully. From compensation equity to media treatment to basic working conditions, Sophie has consistently been the voice advocating for things players didn't even realize they desperately needed. Now she's sitting across from living legends. Why her specifically? Because fear doesn't exist in her vocabulary. Because she comprehends the sport at profound levels and won't hesitate challenging broken systems regardless of who's watching. But here's the most critical piece. Cunningham brings undeniable credibility. She's nobody's publicity darling. Zero corporate smoothness. Completely raw, totally authentic, and deeply respected throughout the league. So if she's attached to whatever this initiative becomes, it's not superficial nonsense. It's substantive fire. Her involvement signals this transcends entertainment value. This concerns genuine systemic transformation. Sophie's spent years planting seeds through advocacy work, union organizing, positioning herself for future leadership roles. This gathering might represent her harvest moment. Paired with Bird's institutional wisdom and Clark's meteoric influence, Cunningham functions as the essential connector, the generational bridge. The enforcer guaranteeing that change doesn't just get discussed endlessly, but actually gets implemented. Then there's Larry Bird himself, the icon, the Indiana legend, 3-time NBA champion, 3-time MVP, the trash-talking genius the league still hasn't forgotten. But he's not here reminiscing about old achievements. He's here because he genuinely believes in something transcending personal legacy. When Larry Bird emerges after years of calculated silence, people better pay extremely close attention. His playing dominance was just one dimension. As an executive, he constructed championship contenders. Drafted brilliantly, coached strategically, mentored relentlessly, elevated entire franchises. His fingerprints mark every significant Indiana basketball organization, Celtics and Pacers alike. But why resurface now? Why step back into visibility after all this time? Simple answer: because the game genuinely matters to him. Because Caitlin Clark represents that rare spark. And Bird possesses the unique ability to turn sparks into raging infernos. Bird's presence here isn't symbolic ceremony, it's calculated strategy. He's both the visionary architect and the seasoned mentor, connecting old-school grit with new-school brilliance. He's here to construct something lasting. Think about this scenario. Bird personally mentoring Clark, teaching her how to navigate overwhelming fame, how to lead diverse teams, how to build legacies that outlive playing careers. This goes beyond casual mentorship. This represents succession. Basketball royalty passing the crown forward. Bird never does anything halfway. If he's re-entering the arena, he's completely committed. with Cunningham and Clark alongside him. This combination possesses genuine potential to ignite something utterly unprecedented in sports history. There's beautiful symmetry in all this unfolding, specifically in Indiana, where basketball isn't merely a sport, it's practically a religion. All three figures share deep Indiana connections. Clark's currently igniting the fever. Cunningham competed through Midwest high school circuits. Bird literally embodies Indiana basketball itself. Nothing about this is coincidental. This is a coronation. A basketball revolution spanning leagues, genders, and entire eras is emerging right from Indiana's heartland. Fans statewide are absolutely buzzing. Media vehicles camp outside practice facilities constantly. Somewhere in a strategic boardroom, a blueprint is being carefully drafted. A blueprint capable of transforming absolutely everything. This movement extends far beyond one player, one franchise, one league. It's about unifying basketball under a singular expansive vision. And if Indiana serves as ground zero for that transformation, that feels absolutely perfect. This blueprint encompasses far more than publicity and luxury partnerships. The vision involves fundamentally reimagining professional basketball's entire structure. Inside sources suggest this transcends simply boosting WNBA ratings or securing bigger sponsorship deals. With Clark, Cunningham, and Bird as founding architects, the goal involves completely reconstructing the professional basketball ecosystem itself. Picture a future where WNBA and NBA athletes train in integrated environments, where young girls and boys everywhere, Indiana or anywhere nationally, look up and witness identical resources, identical passion, identical spotlight illuminating both leagues equally. Mentorship becomes a structured, fully funded initiative rather than hollow marketing language. This trio might actually be building exactly that. This isn't empty speculation either. Whispers suggest infrastructure is already being quietly established. Training academies, development pipelines, media platforms, all co-managed by basketball icons regardless of gender. Rumors indicate Larry Bird is leveraging his extensive connections and management expertise to push for formal NBA backing to merge the leagues in genuinely unprecedented ways. Meanwhile, Cunningham isn't just talking loud. Reports say she's actively pushing for equal compensation structures, comprehensive retirement planning, robust union protections, mental health programming, substantive policy reforms that go way beyond buzzwords into measurable systemic action. Her role here is revolutionary, not decorative. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, is being positioned as a change maker, not just an elite competitor. She's young enough to genuinely connect with the next generation, but powerful enough to demand seats in boardrooms where real transformative change gets decided. She's challenging broken systems with her platform, rather than simply praising them. And fans aren't just passively watching anymore, they're actively mobilizing. Social media buzz has reached fever pitch. Hashtags are trending constantly. Petitions demanding transparency about what this mysterious Indiana gathering might produce are circulating widely. Dedicated fan communities are rapidly organizing. More than anything, the public desperately wants answers. Reports say local Indiana media outlets are planning major investigative features. National networks are flying producers in immediately. Why the urgency? Because they understand what everyone instinctively feels. We're barely scratching the surface of something genuinely massive happening right now. Speculation suggests this covert meeting might evolve into a nationally televised announcement event. Something that would fundamentally shake the entire sports landscape. A broadcast launch where the trio publicly unveils their complete vision, articulates their mission, issues a rallying call for the entire basketball community to join them. What if they recruit additional marquee names? Imagine figures like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, maybe even LeBron James aligning with this movement. That's not fantasy speculation anymore. It's a legitimately plausible scenario. Because when legends of this caliber align publicly, other legends pay very close attention. This transcends typical basketball storytelling. This is a narrative about genuine influence, about how three individuals from completely different chapters of the sport's history possess the collective power to radically rewrite the entire narrative. This involves demolishing organizational barriers, discarding outdated operational playbooks, constructing a bold new era literally from scratch. Executives across both leagues are already visibly nervous. An initiative this audacious directly threatens comfortable status quo arrangements. It challenges deeply entrenched power structures. But that's precisely why it's gaining serious momentum. The current system desperately needs disruption, and these three might actually deliver it. Consider what it means when the loudest applause comes not from on-court performance, but from the sheer concept of transformation itself. When fans get genuinely excited, not just about the next game, but about the next generation of the entire sport. Something bigger than any single championship is happening in Indiana right now. Bigger than any individual MVP award. This represents the birth of a movement transcending geography, gender, and generation entirely. The ripple effects will reach from grassroots youth programs and developing leagues all the way to professional locker rooms and international arenas. The basketball world might genuinely never look the same afterward. In an era where sports narratives often center on scandal, betrayal, or athlete burnout, this story feels genuinely different. This feels hopeful. This feels like a comeback story not for one player, but for an entire sport. So while we wait for the complete unveiling of whatever Clark, Cunningham, and Bird have orchestrated, one truth stands crystal clear. This isn't just another WNBA storyline. This is a before and after moment, a definitive turning point, an opening chapter to something genuinely historic. Every development, every leaked detail, every calculated move they make matters immensely. Basketball fans, prepare yourselves for something that won't just generate headlines, but will actively make history. So what's actually happening? What's the end game here? Insiders speculate it could be a comprehensive mentorship initiative. Others whisper about media platform launches, entrepreneurial ventures, possibly even a revolutionary cross-league training complex. Whatever the specifics, it's undeniably massive and designed to unite men's and women's basketball in ways never previously attempted. Really think about this. Bird's institutional wisdom, Clark's unstoppable momentum, Cunningham's fierce advocacy, all converging to elevate the game on both sides of the gender divide simultaneously. We might genuinely be witnessing a complete revolution. Integrated player development programs, cross-league collaborative workshops, joint media campaigns, a unified basketball brand identity. With the already extraordinary media attention surrounding them, you can guarantee that sponsors, broadcast networks, and fans will scrutinize their every single move. Because this isn't merely a partnership arrangement. This is a rallying cry. A public declaration that basketball belongs to everyone equally. The game is evolving in real time right before our eyes. Greatness is actively being forged. So here's my question for you. Are you ready? Are you prepared to witness basketball's future being written as it happens? Because Caitlin Clark isn't just competing. She's rewriting fundamental rules. Sophie Cunningham isn't just speaking truth. She's actively carving new pathways forward. And Larry Bird isn't returning to observe from the sidelines. He's coming back to build something lasting. What comes next will absolutely shock the world. We'll be right here delivering every announcement, every update, every shockwave this trio creates. If you're genuinely passionate about where basketball is headed, hit that like button hard. Drop your predictions in the comments. What do you think Clark, Cunningham, and Bird are actually planning? Don't forget to subscribe because I promise you, this story is only beginning. Stay locked in. The revolution has officially arrived. Thanks for watching WNBA News.